Hello, everyone. I'm Ivana.
And I'm Preeti.
And this is Targum, a podcast which focuses on pop culture reviews and social media. In today's episode, we will be talking about our picks for the best movies to watch during the holidays. To start off, I love the holiday season so much.
Yeah.
I really love Christmas. And it's not even about the presents because I haven't gotten a present since I was 8 years old. So it's not about that. I just love the joy that's around. I don't even know, but that's why I love Christmas. So I have so many Christmas movies that I enjoy and love. Some off the bat is How the Grinch Stole Christmas, funny movie, and some that we always watch every year would be the Fred Astaire 1970 stop motion ones, Little Drummer Boy and Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Yeah, I love those. But for today, I'm going to talk about Best Man Holiday because I watched it, I think, last year, and I just really, really enjoyed that movie. So what Best Man Holiday is, it's a sequel to Best Man. It takes place 15 years after these group of friends were last together as a group. And the 8 college friends, they finally reunite over the Christmas holidays. And though much changed in their lives, the friends discover how easy it is for long forgotten rivalries and passionate romances to be reunited. So it's one of the friends is an NFL player, and he's rich and whatever. And he brought everybody to his home, and that's what they're having dinner at. And it's a sophisticated place, but everybody has their own agenda. One of them is on a reality TV show. One of them is trying to get money from the other person, this and that. It's just it's the dynamic is really, really good. Every character felt like they have a purpose. It was just so memorable because every character was played so well. And I related to them more, in my opinion. I never really seen a Christmas movie on a portrait of a group of Black friends. One of my favorite characters in the film his name was Julian, but played by Harold Perrineau. And he was a cute little dorky person. He was shy on the edge all the time. And he's that friend in the group that's always shy and oh, should I do this or not? Yeah. And he was, the way he carried himself and his values and morals were just so wholesome. And he was funny without even ttrying. And one of the other characters, she was a reality TV show. She's in a fake show in the film. It's the Real Housewives of etc., right? So she was one of those, and they're it's just the character dynamic and personalities between everybody was just so funny to watch. I really like watching films about family and films about relationships. So just seeing how the relationships were intertwining together with everyone, it was just so fun to watch. I really liked it. That's what I really liked. My favorite thing about it. And they also have a subplot that's that made me cry half in the second half. You wouldn't expect that subplot to happen in a Christmas movie, and I was just no. So I was crying. It's so good. You get every emotion. You get the happy, you get the sad, you get the funny, you get the drama.
It sounds really good. I'm definitely gonna check it out after.
Yes, please. Oh, it's so good. And the film has a good soundtrack too. The soundtrack is all it's Christmas R&B, and I'm okay, I like this.
That's such a good take, because I feel most Christmas movies are the classic Christmas, musics, and it's really good to hear a really cool R&B take on it.
Right? That's what I was oh, they playing okay. They had what do they have? They had a rendition of Winter Wonderland, but by Emily Sand, and her voice is so good. And they also had This Christmas by Mary J. Blige. It's so good. And they also had artists like John Legend. They had Jada Brown. They had Marsha Ambrosius. So they had a lot of good artists in the whole soundtrack.
That's a huge A-star list.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think they had Alicia Keys also.
I'm gonna check it out, definitely.
The soundtrack is so good. And I was okay, I'm bopping out. Okay, this is a different Christmas take.
Yeah.
So it was it was fun.
It sounds like a really nice, unique twist on,
right?
classic Christmas movies, and I think a bunch of people should check it out too. Because
Yes, everybody, check it
check
out.
it out. Yeah, my pick's I think a bit more classic. It's the first Home Alone movie. For me, that was like the classic.
Mhm.
It was the one that did it the best. I like the second movie, and we don't talk about what happened in the third movie because that just never existed. It was so bad. But the first
Yeah.
movie was my pick. It is definitely the classic one. I watched it when I was so young. Oh my god! The
Oh,
first time I watched it was when I was in elementary school actually, and I'm pretty sure I don't even have to like explain what the movie's about since it's been out for so long. But here's a quick spiel in case somebody hasn't watched it. There's this kid named Kevin. He gets left alone at home, and his parents are gone to with I think one of his cousins or something, and he hears a thief's plot to come and break into their house and steal a bunch of things. So he does a bunch of things, and I'm not going to spoil the rest, but it's really cool. Check it out, obviously. But yeah, I was going back to it, and the first time I watched it, the only part I really got was the end when he was like ruining all of these thieves, and he was like catching their hair on fire or something like that.
mhm.
He had like spiders. That was the only thing that stuck out to me, and I was so freaked out because I was like 8 or something. I'm like, what's going on? But then I rewatched it like 5 years later or something. I'm not sure why it was so.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a decent amount of time later, but I did rewatch it, and I'm like, oh, it's really good. Honestly, I think more than anything, the way that they filmed this movie was so good. Like
Mhm.
for that time, it was just such a really interesting take on it. They kept, I think, part of what made this movie feel fresh was that the way that they filmed it, the angles at which they filmed the movie was
Mhm.
so good. Like so they would switch POV. Sometimes they would have the POV of the kid. Most of the time they would have the POV of the kid. Most of the time they would have, the POV of the thieves. And the way that they switched it was really good. It was really crisp. And I think the main thing was that the most of the jokes, actually not most, all of the jokes landed.
Right.
This is one of those movies that anybody can relate to. It's not just kids. Like
Yeah.
concept of having a thief break into your house is something that like anybody's gonna get
It's like
scared at.
scared of.
Yeah. And I think the only thing that kind of separates this as like a kids movie, if you would, is that it's a kid who's doing all the thinking. And I think that's the best thing because it's a kid and he has so much, he's so creative about everything. And yeah. I think the
Wait,
soundtrack of the movie was really good too because it wasn't anything exceptional, but it really did play off the scenes really well. So it didn't take away, it didn't add.
mhm.
Good. Yeah.
I agree with your statement about like the angles because I feel like I remember Home Alone is a classic. I feel like everybody has watched that, to be honest. Like I'm pretty sure everybody has watched that. I don't even know one person that hasn't. But I remember the last time I watched it was last year, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, I forgot some scenes. Like, okay, let me watch this again with my friends.
Yeah.
And it was like I was laughing so much and it was just genuinely funny. I was like, oh wait, that happened, I forgot. And it was just funny. And I feel like the statement that you said about the angles and how they switch perspective, I think it's like towards the end, like the whole scene of like just seeing the perspective, like
Yeah.
switching perspectives between like what's happening. I feel like that built, like I remember in my seat like, oh no, like it caused so much tension with the audience, like switching perspectives, because we can see where the robbers are and like what they're doing, but
And the
the
kid
kid
can't.
doesn't know, but
I
we
know.
know, so we're all like, no,
What's going on?
what is gonna happen? So it's just like it builds so much
So
tension,
good.
and
It
I felt
keeps
like that was,
tension
yeah,
of the
it was
movie.
such a good choice to that was such a good choice because like I feel like it wouldn't have worked if we were on a perspective on the kid the whole time,
Yeah.
or like it was good to have both of them.
I think honestly, we have like a bunch of we went through like a list of all of our top movies, and we have quite a few ones that were the same, like Elf, and then
Oh, I love Elf so much.
I I here's the thing. I watched Elf when I was in high school. I never watched Elf before high school. I mean, I know it's like a classic movie and people watched it, but I just saw, yeah, oh, Will Ferrell. I was like, oh, I'm not sure. And so I ended up watching it in high school. And I think that was the biggest issue because I watched it in high school and I had so much like, I was cringing kind of watching this elf kind of navigate the human world. And I was like, oh.
Wait, like a good cringe or a bad cringe?
It was okay. It was half good. It was half bad. Like the jokes were good, but at the same time, I was like,
Wait, so you didn't like it? Like you were just like,
honestly, if I had to rate that movie, I would rate it like a 4.5 or a 5 out of 10.
what?
Yeah.
Girl, what? You actually go ahead.
Here's the thing, okay? I feel like if I had watched the movie when I was younger and then I rewatched it, I would have had such a bigger appreciation for it. But because I started watching it when I was like 16 or something, I'm like,
I am appalled. No way. Do you not like Elf? You rated it a 5 out of 10? Girl, what?
Everybody else loves it, and so I can't say anything when people say like their favorite movie is Elf. I'm just like, it's nice.
Oh my goodness, what? This is the first time I hear somebody say that they don't like, they're like about elves. What? I thought the comedy was like genius. Like I really thought the comedy was genius. No, I don't really think. I know. It's so genius. Like the comedy is not even like, it's not cringe. It's not like a one gag or like a one laugh thing that they were trying to pull off. It was like, it was so like wisely put together and like in the way the writer constructed it, and it was just, and like also the director had a part in it, like how they directed Will Ferrell and all the actors, because it was just like the comedy is so good in the film. I don't know how you don't like this cringe. It's so funny seeing you don't think it's funny seeing a grown man as an elf in New York City? That's so funny.
I like the part that, I mean, I like the take on it. Here's the thing. The overall plot of Elf, like if they just wrote it down in like one line, like there's this guy who's like 38 or something and he's still this elf and he's bored of it. That seems really interesting and I like that. But watching the elf navigate New York City and making a bunch of like, not mistakes, but like, he doesn't know how it is. So he's obviously, trying to like, he's gonna like mess things up a bit here and there. I was cringing so bad. I'm like,
what? I thought that was funny. Wait, so okay, what about the scene where it's like, you don't find it funny? Like when he like calls out fake Santa and he starts like punching fake Santa, like, no, you're not Santa.
I found it cringy. I was like,
why?
I found it funny. I did find it somewhat funny, but the fact that everybody in the mall was just looking at the guy like he was punching Santa.
That's funny.
I was like, oh god, somebody's punching Santa.
Okay, hold up. So were you like, was it like secondhand embarrassment where you're like embarrassed for him, or was it like cringing
at? Embarrassed for him. I wasn't like, embarrassed in general. I was just like looking at it. I'm like, what if I did that? I wouldn't do it.
Did you find it funny, or did you just imagine yourself in that position and got completely like, nah?
I think it was a mix of both. I honestly think it was a mix of both. Yeah.
This is the first time I hear this.
And I'm like, this is going to be such a good movie. To like going in, I was like, I'm ready because everybody loves it. This is like, movie. I'm just like, how do people like this? But that being said,
I think no. I have a difference of opinion. I love this movie so much, and I can maybe speak for others when I say this, but what makes this film really like good and like special to people
Yeah.
is the fact that first it's like it no, it's the fact that every time you watch it, you love it even more and it gets funnier even more. Like I remember watching this. I think high school was the first time I also watched this, and I watch it every or high school, right? Yeah, like early high school. And it would play every like you know how like an ABC Family or whatever they
Oh
have like
yeah.
the Christmas special, so they would have that, and
Mhm.
I would always watch it every year multiple times because they would
Yeah.
always play it. And it's just every single time you watch it, like it has the fact that it has like the power to just make you like love it even more and find it funny
Yeah.
even more. I think that's what's more like special about it. And
Mhm.
it's like it does bring out the Christmas spirit. I feel like it does. Like it has so much Christmas
Yeah.
spirit in it. Like I feel like, and it has so much like it has so many memorable lines and quotes and
Mhm.
scenes. Girl, I really like it. I don't.
No,
I,
yeah, definitely. That's completely fair because I think like 99% of the people who watch Grinch love it. Like there's 1% like me who's like, but that's it. You know,
right.
it is what it is. So, what do you think? I did like Grinch. I did like the Grinch movie from
Oh,
2000 with Jim
that's
Carrey.
so
I
good.
liked it.
It's so good. That one makes me laugh. Like
I
I I love it so much. It's so
same.
funny. My favorite scene is when he's like he's dressing up and he does like the little like he's putting on different clothes and he's modeling in his mirror, and it's like it's so funny. I love it. That's my
Yeah,
favorite
yeah,
scene.
I agree. And I
I
think
love it.
honestly, the one part that stuck out to me about that movie was in the very beginning. I'm not sure, but it's when they tell like his background story and like why he became such a
Mm,
Grinch, like the way he did. I felt so sorry for him. I never
right?
thought I would feel so bad for the Grinch. I watched this movie like a lot, and every single time that part still gets me. I'm like, they
Like
treated him
poor,
so
yeah.
badly.
It's like you feel bad, and like they did a good job
Did
with
such a
that.
good job,
Like
yeah.
yeah, they really did a good job making us feel bad for like the antagonist basically, but it's just it's so yeah,
Such
I
an
love it.
interesting
Love
take.
it.
I feel that it's really fresh because people are like, "Oh, the Grinch who stole Christmas, this evil guy who did it," but they really went in on like,
Mhm.
he is, yeah. So
And the
let's
comedy was good.
talk
Sorry.
about Hallmark movies.
Girl, I feel like I'm loving everything today. I just really like Christmas movies. It's like, first, you know what? Let me hear your take on Hallmark movies before I bring in my take,
Okay, fine, fair. Okay, that's fair.
because
So,
I know you probably don't like them.
okay, here's the thing. I have mixed feelings about Hallmark movies. So here's the thing, like when I start watching, I just watched one like 5 minutes. I just finished watching one 5 minutes ago because my mom loves these movies. She loves like the
I
corny
love your
romance
mom.
Christmas Hallmark movies. I was watching it with her. But when I start watching it, this happens every single time without fail. The first 10 to 15 minutes, I'm just bored out of my mind. I'm like, I know what's gonna happen. Why am I watching it? But then after like the 10-minute mark, my brain just like, okay, let's actually like enjoy this movie. And then I actually get into it. Like, I mean, I know what's gonna happen, but it's fun watching it. Um,
Hmm.
so
Oh,
I
okay.
enjoy the experience of watching it. And then after the movie's done, I'm just like, why did I watch this? It's like a 3 segment thing. So overall, I don't mind it. I give it a solid 70. I know.
Yay. Okay. I like that answer.
Yeah,
I
what
like
about
it.
you? You told me
I
that it's so bad, so it's good. It's so bad that it's good.
yes. Okay. I acknowledge that these movies are like kind of bad, but they're like good, you know?
They're
And
good.
I just yeah, they're good bad. Like you can like I love seeing because they play it like on the Hallmark channel, they play it back to back to back, like Christmas movies back to back. And it's just so funny and fun watching how they could take the same story but switch a little word or like switch the character, like have the same characters, but like switch something about it. It's just so funny how and like fun to see the different like renditions of the same thing, but in
That's
different movies.
so
It's like it's
Mhm.
so I find that like so entertaining. One,
Yeah.
two. okay, like my thing about Hallmark movies is it's like it brings me so much happiness and joy.
Yeah.
Second, it's so relatable. You know, like
Really?
well, not relatable, like okay, I have to explain this because now I just sound weird. Like every story has like it has themes of like love. It has themes of like hope for us. It has themes of just like people going through obstacles. Like it has like compassion. It has plot points of just like emotions and like them experiencing like I'm making Hallmark movies sound deep right now and I probably sound really dumb, but it's like it's normal people experiencing like these relationship problems and like these obstacles between like family and friends and like just like financial issues and conflict between family and just like issues that everyone goes through, and then you see how they overcome it, and then you see just I don't know, I really like seeing that because I'm like, oh, like for some of them, I'm like, I relate to this. I relate to what this financial problem that they're having. I relate to that conflict that they're having with their friend. And it's just fun seeing how these people like get through these obstacles. I don't know. Like I really like it's just normal problems, some of them. You know? Like it's not like that one with Vanessa Hudgens. Did you see that one on Netflix?
That's the one that I was going to talk about. I'm like, because
that's not like, what is that?
The girl gets carried away by a prince. This is what you think.
Bro, that movie, for context, what was that movie called again?
Yes, Princess. That's it. Yeah.
What is that movie? Like that was a whole like it was literally Vanessa Hudgens, right? And she had a twin, and then magically she found some prince, and now she's like in a royal kingdom because her twin lookalike was in the kingdom, and then they switched places, like a poor girl and a kingdom girl switch places, and then there's a subplot of there's a baking competition, and it's just there's so much going on. I didn't feel the Christmas spirit. It was like so many things wrong with it.
I like Vanessa Hudgens as an actor, kind of, but this movie was just
no, that movie was not it. And not it. I'm talking about Hallmark movies. That was something else. That was some Netflix ghetto rendition. Like that was really I did not like that.
My only issue with Hallmark movies is that even though they start out with people having problems that you can relate to, like having problems with their boyfriend or something like that, they always get fixed by the end of the movie. That's what annoys me the most.
Girl, that's what brings the happiness.
I'm like,
it has to be somebody. It has to be like that. It's Christmas.
Christmas, right? Yeah.
If you don't want like, yeah, I mean it's expected that all Hallmark movies are gonna end happy. Yeah. So, but if you don't want that, I do recommend the movie that I recommended in the beginning, Best Man Holiday, because it has like a twist that you wouldn't expect.
I'm definitely gonna check it out.
Christmas movies to like have.
Sounds right up my alley.
Yeah, because it's like so you like real. Like you like no, give me a real ending. That's what you like. So yeah, I just really like Christmas movies. This is my favorite time of the, I guess that's so cheesy to say. It's my favorite time of the year, but it is. Like I said, it's not even about the presents. I don't get presents. So it's just like about like just spending time with people and like watching movies like these. That's why like these movies, like Christmas movies, are so important because it really brings out like the spirit of the holidays out, and with that comes like happiness. Like you can feel stress and you can just watch this movie about this family or like this friend going through this and that, and it's enjoyable. So I really think,
and I think actually like off the same point as you, even though I feel like I'm 50-50 on Christmas movies, like I like the main point of it is just to sit down and not worry about your actual life for once, you know?
Right.
Sit down, chill, watch a movie, and go into the movie and just enjoy it. Definitely
right?
Good. Yeah.
I agree.
And that's all for today. Join us next time on Targum Tea with more reviews. And make sure to follow up the Daily Targum on our Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube for more content.